Hey guys, let's do a stretch and a check-in. This is 24 hours removed from having the surgery, not the surgery, but scar tissue done with the tool like we've been talking about. Always looks interesting on the camera. It's like the dark parts are darker and the light parts are lighter. Um, But right here in real life, hey, yeah, you can kind of tell like it's almost fading out to illegibility there. Illegible, you can't read it. Can't be read as a scar. So we're gonna do some pronation, supination stretches while we check in. Currently, still trying to get a new set of uh, like ongoing videos going. Right now, I'm checking out Hitman, the latest Hitman that was just called Hitman 2 and 3 now. Um, I'd watched a few videos from people I like playing that game, and I thought uh, it could be like something I'd be into. But playing it was significantly different from watching it. I wouldn't say the game's bad at all, but it wasn't what I thought. It's kind of a weird, slow game. I don't know exactly what triggers things. It just seems to be literally you listening to conversations sometimes make people like move around the map in a sort of clockwork function. Um, it's a neat game. It's fun. Uh, it's fun to kind of solve the game through like listening in on conversations and uh, it's really neat when you get a disguise that's like, it's pretty frequent. You could choke out like a security guard. Now you're a security guard, and choke out a waiter or somebody who works in maintenance or something. All the maps generally seem to have somebody like that, the service personnel or something, and those people have a certain amount of access, and there's things they can't go. But it is fun when you find like a person, say the Paris level, you could disguise yourself as a guy who's a runway model for a fashion show, and then everybody's like, "Oh, it's you, Helmut Kruger," and they kind of let you in almost anywhere except for the security places, which makes sense. Like he he has like the run of the place pretty much, just because he's like so famous, and that's fun. I don't know that you could have it one without the other, right? If you were to play as Krugers every time, you'd be like, all I have to do is disguise myself and I can get everywhere. And then if you were only able to disguise yourself as uh, security guards and stuff, you'd be like, okay, I get it. I can either go here or I can go there. Um, Interesting. Like there was one level where you could be security, or you could be like military personnel, and it's like, oh wow, they have both. They have some private security and there's some military on this place, and to see those kind of interactions, like there was tiers within the defenders, the defense side of things. Pretty fun game. I can't really fault it. It's fun. You get dressed up as the like runway model, and then you sit down and have them do your makeup, and then you can go out and walk the runway, and it's like whatever weird job Agent 47 ends up doing, he's like good at, and that's fun. That's like it's a funny bit. And you find things. It's like one level I just found like an exploding golf ball, and I was like, well, clearly you can use this somewhere, and you're not just gonna chuck it at someone, right? You're gonna give it to someone, and they're gonna tee up and blow up. That's gonna be great. So you just have to find the scenario that lets you be with the guy who plays golf and be able to like eventually you find like a golf pro, and can you get the golf pro on his own and choke him out, and then come down and say it's time for your lesson, here's the ball, and make sure you tee up your arc, boom. I haven't done that yet, but I'm imagining it, and that's the kind of fun of the game. um Not I'm actually kind of fascinated that when I'm looking through like the other challenges, there'll be things like snipe the targets, and I'm like, really? Because like most of the things have been like sneaking around, setting up scenarios where they die, or you loosen a chandelier and it falls on them and stuff, not just literally like find a place and shoot them. Well, really, like what? Or like get it somehow manipulate the level so that they sit down at a table like face to face, and you get behind, and you can shoot both of them in one bullet, and like challenge like 2 for 1 kind of thing. Um, I'm like, like everything else has been like you fiddle with an electrical wire, and then you interrupt their phone call, and they get mad, and they go outside to talk, and then they walk in the water, and they go outside to use their cell phone, walk in the electrical puddle of water that's electrified, and they die. And you're like, oh, there you go. It seems fascinating that you would, like sniper them from some fucking roost. At least one of my early ones, I was like, this is a pretty good place to just like strangle them out. Yay, done. Like literally didn't even garrote them, which was like, I worked on like Hitman Blood Money back when I was at IDOS, and that's like the thing I did the most was just go around and like garrote people. And the version of the game I was working on, like for the most part, the choke animation, you would use the garrote wire, and we were supposed to like choke them out, but instead he would just go snap. He would like snap they had the like animation for like the action movie neck snap. So you'd be like, choke him out, whoosh, dead. And you're like, yay, this is like a really easy game because the choking would take a while, but you go choke him, whoosh, dead. The big thing in that version of Hitman that I was working on was the crowd tech. They had these very dense crowds, and polygonal, early 360, late original Xbox, like PS2, GameCube era game. There was like a PC port for sure. I think it was on 360. The must have been. I didn't do too many games that were on original Xbox, but I did plenty of early 360 title testing, and yeah, and I'm sure they were like, we could push enough polygons to make the crowd look realistic. I remember there was a level at like Carnival, and you could like get in a float and like mow people down, and it was this like thick crowd and this like slow float, just like murder, 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 murder. This game's a lot more different that way, or maybe it matters more to me as I'm like playing it not as a tester, but as someone interacting with the systems they put and the points they give you for doing things right. You can't just kill everybody. I mean, you can, but holy moly, the people run away and they get guards, and the guards come and they like arrest you. Or if you get arrested, I've actually never let them arrest me. I don't know how far it goes. The only prompt you get is fake surrender, which lets them like come in close, and then you can like punch them and try to take the gun and stuff. But after that, they just start shooting you, and it's not like one shot and you're dead, but it's way closer to realistic than it is to like Doom or something. So you take a few bullets and the screen's like black and white, and you're gonna die if you get touched. And that was kind of fun actually. On one, I was in like Marrakesh or something, and I would just like run around as much. I tried running through the crowd, and the fucking guards were just shooting into the crowd. So I was like, you think they would give a shit? But instead, I ran around and like try to get the guards one-on-one, just break their neck and leave them, run around, trap them, break their neck. I was like, this is kind of fun. But at the end of the level, you get significantly dinged for like anybody who saw you before they got knocked out, because they don't want you to kill anyone. So he's like, the professional kills only his target, right? You're only paid to kill the one target, and then anybody else you kill, that piles up. Or if they see you, see in your face, see you do it, get your recorded on a security camera. The neat thing is if you get on the security camera, you can go find the tape and then erase it, and then it doesn't count against you. So I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. Some amount of concern for time, but the first time, excuse me, holy crap, like 7 a.m, so I haven't gotten to sleep yet. The first time you do a level, you're going to kind of crawl through it, and you listen to a lot of the conversations, and they tell you like, oh, he really wants to see the fireworks show, and so eventually you find a way to like detonate the fireworks, and he runs over to see him, and so you spend like an hour. But I'm sure once you know what you're doing, it's going to be like under 10 minutes for sure, maybe even 5 minutes or something. You just run in and do something, and you can come in with guns, a sniper rifle, and you can be deployed with all kinds of crazy weapons. It's hard to get anywhere, the security might have metal detectors, or they might frisk you before they come in, or the gun, if it's like a rifle, it's like strapped to your back and they just see it and they're like, you can't have that. unless you're a security guard who has an assault rifle or something, so they let you in. Um, Interesting game. See, talking about it more, it's a game. It's kind of like sucking me back in. Like when I'm playing it, it's way more subdued than anything else I'm playing, and it's like the assassin game, right? Running around killing people, and it's like somewhat tense, you know. I talked about it way more than I had no intention. Instead, I was going to talk about the Cray and I have been fiddling around with some like streaming video so we could both see it, and then making commentaries over it, and then figuring out where to go from there. I showed him one of my favorite movies of all time, Blazing Saddles, tonight, which is a movie just couldn't get made today. Uh, if it was, it would be considered, you know, controversial, or like it would have some point to be made that instead of just being the comedy and era appropriate movie that it intended to be, like not era appropriate 1974, but you know pre 1900s, late 1800s Wild West movie about race relations and all kinds of like corrupt government and stuff, and it's a comedy. It's a parody of westerns. Great stuff. Cleveland Little and Gene Wilder. One of my favorites, Slim Pickens, is tremendous in it as a corrupt sheriff, or just like a sheriff, like barely corrupt by today's standards. He's just kind of a jerk. Luckily the movie really hit the way I hoped it would for Craig, because I've been pitching to him that we should watch that movie forever, and he liked it. We didn't record any commentary or anything for it, but that's an option that's on the table. I'm not sure what I would do, because it's not like you could upload a copy of Blazing Saddles that essentially would be video perfect with just our voices. I could put something up with like clips or pictures or something and no soundtrack, and people could like sync it up if they want. That would be fun for other people and for me. I've kind of wanted to do that ever since CDMW and I did like a marathon of Karate Kid movies quite a few years back now. That was a ton of fun at the time, and I think we still have the recordings of it. No, it was just a ton of fun. But it has always been the problem that anything from Mystery Science Theater to riff tracks to commentaries in general is like you can't provide the easily synced thing legally on something like YouTube. But maybe in the future, I want to watch Airplane. He wants me to watch Bad Boys 2, which is a movie I've tried to watch a number of times, but I think maybe I have a better handle now on like what a Michael Bay thing is, and maybe I could enjoy it instead of being like, oh, I remember at the time I was working at a video store that was kind of an uppity, upscale. It was called Le Video, so you can imagine, right? I would watch the movie and I was like, this movie's kind of dumb. I do like it. I don't know. Now he's blown that scale out of proportion with something like all the Transformers sequels. So I could probably watch something like Bad Boys and be like, this is great. Plus, I saw it had Wusa in it. I'm blanking on his name, but I can look it up real quick. Oh, IMDb Congo, because I really like this guy in Congo. Come on, no, show everybody's name. Tim Curry, Bruce Campbell. Oh, that's right, Bruce Campbell's in there. Why is he not like a higher credit? Oh yeah, because he just comes in and out of the movie. Oh, brutal. All right, give me the full cast and crew on IMDb. Yeah, Herkimer Homoka, no. Amy the Gorilla, no. Crap. Why is it so hard to find him? Transport Worker, nope. Roadblock Soldier, nope. Claude from Mombasa, nope. These names. Is it Adoe Abajahe? Yeah, man, that guy was in. I can't say that guy's name. Joe Pantoliano, that's right. He's not uncredited. That's the problem. He's all the way down at the bottom. Eddie Ventro, get you anything you want. Here's the money hairs on the back of his neck going woo woo woo. Joe Pantoliano, tremendous, and I see that he's in the Bad Boys film, so I'm like drawn in that much more, I'm losing my my light here because I'm using it for Googling. But yeah, 15 minutes. Let's cut it off. We'll try and get some new stuff up soon, and see if we can see what we can do. I don't know. It might be more solo stuff, or might get Miss Hermit in on some stuff too lately, because we've been just clicking a lot lately and trying to figure out what to do. So like, subscribe, do whatever you can. I'll try to get. I have some older stuff from Crayon Eye that I still need to upload. And now is like the best time, right? So I'll see you guys next time.